Hey, what's going on? Jordan Taylor here, or as I used to say, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Shoutouts to you if you remember that intro. But yes, we are back for another episode of me reacting to my old music leading up to the release of my new album / EP. So let's just get right into it. So today I am going to start off my reaction to some old music with a song that was called The Day Before Today. So a little bit of background on this song. This was, again, a song that I did back in 2011 off of my first EP, which still featured me singing and rapping over a bunch of instrumentals that were made by other people, but it was not a remix per se. It was rather just me writing something new and original, but using instrumentation produced by somebody else. And this song, The Day Before Today, it was, from what I remember, it was me just trying to be kind of clever with the wordplay, written in collaboration with Dex once again. So let's just listen and see what it sounds like. Okay, here we go.
Yesterday being yesterday, say yes to yesterday and say no to yesterday, and just to what I say.
I remember now that this was where I tried to basically rhyme every word in the entire verse to basically every other word. So it's called The Day Before Today, which for most people would be yesterday. So it all started off with just trying to rhyme a bunch of stuff with yesterday, and I'll see if I can kind of break it down line by line because it's not that long.
Say yes to yesterday, being yesterday. Say yes to yesterday and say no to yesterday, and just to what I say.
Say yes to yesterday, I can't remember. There is a yesterday, there's a yes today, there is say no to yesterday, and yes to what I say. It's just, I thought it was real clever with these lines, y'all, but I mean, you make do with what you got, and I've heard a couple people tell me that they like it. I don't know. It's, I mean, 9 years ago. Well, almost 9 years ago now. So, it is what it is.
Because I know the way away from yesterday and a better way to saying yes to yesterday.
Yeah, that's what it was. I was saying a better way to saying yes to yes today instead of yes today instead of yesterday. I thought it was clever with the wordplay, y'all.
Okay, sitting by the bay, and we're having a great day today without the need to pray. So give yourself an A for listening to exactly what it is that I have got to say. Hungry? Well, hey, I've got it on track.
And I love how my voice is like low-key cracking there. Yes, hey. Good times.
Hey, better get a buffet. And once you're done eating that, you can just lay, relax your vertebrae.
I remember thinking relax your vertebrae. I was super influenced by B.O.B. in and around this time because I think he came out in like maybe 2010, started coming out with music. Excuse me, or at least that's when I kind of became aware of him. So there was something about using the term vertebrae. I'd never heard vertebrae be used in a rap before, other than by someone like maybe B.O.B. and possibly Eminem. So that's, I don't know, I felt like I was kind of drawing from their artistic style to come up with some of the lyricism here. I remember that line in particular, that was written by Dex, because like I said, we were kind of supposed to go back and forth on these lines originally. Actually, yeah, I think that was the premise for this song originally. It was going to be kind of like a back and forth, because I believe Watch the Throne had come out in and around this time, Jay-Z and Kanye West, and it was a very collaborative experience, right? And we were kind of doing the same thing musically at that time. So I think originally we were supposed to be dropping or exchanging lines back and forth with the rhymes of a, day, bae, fiance, all that kind of stuff. So that's just to give a little bit of context there.
To say yes to when I say about a day, hey, so we can get away to holy matrimony. No need to worry, I booked it yesterday, so we can.
there's that voice cracking in yesterday, you know, because I thought that was cool for some reason. Anytime I would try to do these random vocal things, they weren't even runs. They were just like random weird vocal tremors of sorts. I don't know. It sounds awkward to listen to it now, but at the time I thought I was like super cool. Like it just sounds weird. Yeah, and I think it just rides out into an instrumental after that. And I think it just kind of... Oh, yeah. And then I had this outro that was kind of throughout the different places on this EP here. There's a bunch of songs on here that I did think were pretty cool. I'm actually going to try reacting to this second one here called What I Meant. And the thing is with What I Meant, this song here, I guess low-key trying to be a little raunchy just because it was very different from a lot of the music that I made, where it was all very like lovey-dovey, kind of more romancy kind of vibe. And with What I Meant, I was like, okay, well, let me try my hand at being a little bit more just explicitly flirtatious. So this was my attempt at that with this song called What I Meant. Again with the voice cracking. Jordan, why is there so much voice cracking? And the thing is, I'm doing it stylistically. I'm not doing it naturally. I'm doing it like on purpose. I don't know.
Looking all good and everything. Little booty shorts on and little thong showing everything.
I think I was trying to do like a weird kind of like ad-libby type, like, oh, this is how people be talking to people. I knew damn well that I was not speaking to anybody in that kind of way, let alone a woman that I was interested in. I think it sounded like it fit with the tone of the song. I'm not really sure.
Girl, how you gonna be looking like that and not expect me to want to do this? You know what I'm saying?
How you gonna be looking like that and not expect me to want to do things to you? I would never say this to somebody. Not now, nor then. I guess artistic license, right? I guess.
You know, what I mean is I love you, girl.
Yes. So, okay, so now I remember. So, what I was really trying to play with artistically was this whole thing, like, I'm gonna say a bunch of raunchy stuff, I'm gonna say stuff that's pretty overtly flirtatious, and then I'm gonna hit you with the, nah, I'm just playing, what I meant is I love you, you know. So just kind of playing with that whole thing. So that's kind of what the chorus is. Oh yeah, you probably can't really hear it from the speaker right here, but I was really trying to like play along with the melody that was again built into the instrumentation, which produced by Bean One, and I was really trying to kind of ride that melody, and I affected my voice because this is right when I started really liking to distort my vocals, and so you can kind of hear it a little bit. I'm not sure if you can hear it through the speaker, but that I remember doing on purpose and thinking it was kind of like a cool, kind of funky kind of sound to it. I think I totally could have done better had I tried a little bit more with the vocals, because I think it was more like, okay, well, let me get the feeling out and forget, am I trying to sound really good or am I just trying to get the feeling out? I was more so trying to get the feeling out, but I think I could have done a little bit better on the execution, taken a couple more takes to try to get it right. But I digress. Yep.
So I can do what I need to do and get to work. Just lay your body down and then the disturb.
See, for some reason, I thought that I'm like, ooh, I'ma be, keeping it real edgy with this stuff. Talking about laying people down and lifting up their skirts, I guess, because that's what I thought. Like, I'm like, oh, look at me being all raunchy and risque. I don't know.
So I can get down to the dirty business. Way past mannequin.
There's the voice cracking again.
Flirty business, 'cause I'm a business. My tongue, no need to talk, baby, let me get it done. Okay, yeah, I know you're kind of scared, but with the level of moisture, I see you came prepared.
I like when I kind of do those beat riding things. With the level of moisture, I see you came prepared. I don't know. I thought it was cool at the time.
Let me dive face first into the water. Lips, tongue, licks, tongue. I know you love the order you're saying.
Oh, okay, this is one of those parts that because the instrumentation was doing this low key kind of like this build up, like bum, 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 right? That I tried to kind of do that with the verse as well, I think. Or the pre-chorus, I guess it would be.
That you wanna retain, you dream to do but you can't. You say you're going insane, the way I'm feeling your brain. I know it's hard to contain, but you have got to remain silent because your mate is on the inside of the pain. So you best to retain the sexy off of your hands. Every time that you scream, oh my God, little Jane.
So I was trying to make all these words rhyme, and some of them don't. And if you're an artist and you're watching this, let me know if you can kind of relate to trying to make certain words rhyme just by saying them a certain way when in actual fact they don't, because I was saying like paint, remain, restrain, and then I also had to rhyme that with dream and Jordan when those do not rhyme at all, but I somehow thought I could make that work.
Yeah, I know, now be quiet. Actually, I don't even mind the sex running. Kinda makes me wanna go in a little more. So turn your body over and take it to the floor.
I don't know. Wait, I gotta play that again. Hold on. Wait, where are we here?
You wanna go in a little more. So turn your body over and take it to the floor. See, it's all clean.
I forgot about that part. Oh my god. Well, there you go.
Your eyes are doing things and you look like you're in a dream.
Oh, I remember I had to re-record that part. Hey, your eyes are doing things and you look like you're in a dream. I had to re-record this whole line because the way my speech impediment is set up. Sometimes rapping a lot of consonants in a short amount of time is quite difficult, while still retaining the tone, or I guess borderline accent that I would have while rapping. It was very difficult. So I remember having to re-record this line, so I kind of punched it in like 6 months after I had originally recorded it.
You don't want to complicate things, okay deal. Just remember today and how good it made you feel to say, oh! What a man is alone.
Back to the chorus.
What a man is alone. You girl, I do. What a man is alone. You girl, I do. What a man is alone. You girl, I do.
See, this would have been an opportunity where I could have used some pitch correction to make this sound a little bit nicer, and I really don't know why I didn't. I'm thinking maybe at that time I didn't have pitch correction software, possibly. Oh, yes. That is actually why I like the distorted, because I like the distortion sound of like the very auto-tuney sound, which was still, very prevalent at that time. But I didn't actually have pitch correction software. I was recording on this program called, I think it was Acid Music Studio. It was by Sony, and it didn't come with pitch correction. I did try to get a pirated version of Autotune, and then it stopped working. So then I had to kind of fake it by, this is going to be really technical, but basically I would record all the music slowly and then speed it up to the normal pace of the song, and then I would put a bunch of distortion on it. So it would actually it would have that pitch correction sound, even though it wasn't actually pitch corrected. Anyway, super technical info there, but I think that's what I did for this one.
I do.
You can kind of hear it a little bit. Let's try to do some weird chopping and screwing there. Well, I guess mostly chopping, no screwing. But could have been executed a little bit better. But you know what? This is early in my mixing days, so I was still learning. Oh my gosh. I can't believe that's out there in the world for people to hear. Well, there you go. That was my attempt at having a song that was super raunchy. Why I even called this whole EP Love Raps, as you can probably see on the screen here, is I noticed, well, actually, my friend Raph had pointed out to me that, like, a lot of my verses or a lot of my songs were about girls, and he's like, yo, dude, you're always rapping about girls or love or romance or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, because that artistically kind of that's where I was at the time, but I did want to be able to evolve artistically speaking, but I had so much material about romance, love, flirtatiousness, right? All of that. So the idea was to kind of package it all on this one project. It's like, oh, well, it's all these raps about love, so I'm gonna call them Love Raps. And that's kind of where that whole concept was. I'm gonna react to more of these videos as well. I think the next ones I'm gonna be reacting to are a little bit further along in my musical journey, but I'll probably be reacting to some of my other EPs in future videos. So by all means, keep tuning in. I'm going to keep pumping these out as often as I can. So be sure to like, comment, follow, subscribe, all of that good stuff depending on where you're watching this, and be on the lookout for my new EP/album later this month. Official date to be announced very, very, very soon. But yes, thank you so much for tuning in and for watching or for listening, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.